Volleyball Club. We're excited to tell you a little bit about what our season's gonna be like. For some, we've noticed your faces and we recognize you. We're happy to see you come back. For some, this will be all new to you, so feel free to ask questions. We're gonna mention it a couple times, but we do have a website and that has a ton of information on it, including the preliminary schedule that we have out and what the cost is, all those kinds of things. Lots of different questions about age groups. It's kind of on our frequently asked questions tab. So if you hear something tonight and you don't remember, you can always go back and reference that. So to get started, I'm Mel Bachman, this is Morgan Lehman. We started this club 3 years ago, and we both really love volleyball. We help run the rec program here for CPRD as well, from 3rd through 8th grade. It's also our 3rd season doing that, and that's just wrapping up this week. We started this club because we really felt like Newburgh and the community deserved a club in their local community, but we also wanted a club that was really committed to being positive, really committed to making sure that our kids had a safe environment where they could fall in love with this sport and have great coaching also, and remain accessible. So one of the things you'll notice if you have done any of your research is that we're very committed to that accessibility, which is why we're a nonprofit, and so our fees directly reflect exactly what the costs are. I grew up in this community. I went to Young Carlton High School, and the middle school there, and I went and played volleyball there, and then later did intramurals through college. I had been a gymnastics coach before and just loved coaching, and I got involved in coaching when my daughter was in middle school to start helping out, and started club coaching, and that's where I met Morgan because we coached her team together.
My name is Morgan Lehman, like she mentioned. I graduated from Newburgh High School and played volleyball there, and also played for a club that was in Newburgh. That was where we played, and it kind of dissolved during COVID because I graduated in 2020, and a lot of the people that ran the club were parents of players in my class. And so it kind of dissolved, and we wanted to kind of bring that back to life. After I graduated, I went over to Linfield and then started coaching at a volleyball club out there, and that's where we met and kind of decided to continue on our coaching and start our own club. We have some of our lovely coaches with us here tonight to do some introductions so you guys can kind of get to know some of the staff that we bring on board to teach your girls all their skills that they learn. So we'll do some introductions down the line so you can get to know some of them.
Hi guys, I'm Jaden. This is my 3rd year here at WVE. I've been coaching 3 years and then a few years between volleyball and softball, so that's the fun. And I grew up also in Newburgh and played through middle school through college. And I will be coaching the 16th one this year.
Hello everyone, I'm Cassidy. This is my 5th year coaching. I'm from Oregon, not this area though, but yeah, I've been playing since I was young and did it competitively throughout high school and then played intramurals and stuff in college, and I just love coaching and making a difference for the kids.
My name's Allison. I'm from Eugene originally, but made my way up by 5 during college. I played through middle school through college, graduated from Western Oregon University in 2019, and this is my 1st year coaching in general, so I'm really excited to be here.
My name is Maddie. I'm from Salem. This is my 1st year coaching, and I played volleyball for around 9 years, and I went to Salem Academy, so yeah, it's my 1st year. I'm excited.
I'm Peyton. This will be my 2nd year coaching for WVE. I played volleyball from middle school to college. I also grew up here in Newburgh, played high school ball here. I did the club here as well, and also in McMinnville. But yeah, I'm really excited to start coaching.
So a little bit about our club, I kind of mentioned, we started this for very specific reasons. So our mission is to develop athletes of character, instill accountability and hard work, coach lifelong skills, and foster a passion for the game of volleyball in a positive environment. At WVE, our commitment goes beyond just developing volleyball skills. We strive to empower our athletes by emphasizing teamwork, respect, and personal growth. Our club stands out because we embrace every player's unique potential, providing individualized support and celebrating progress at every level. By prioritizing inclusivity and positivity, we've built a community where families feel welcome, coaches are approachable mentors, and every practice is an opportunity for players to thrive both on and off the court. We're proud to offer a club experience that not only nurtures the athletic excellence, but also shapes confident, compassionate individuals who carry these values with them throughout. So culture is just a huge part of what we're doing here at WVE. If you've done any kind of research, you know that there are actually loads of clubs within the SEBA region. Tons of them have very specific goals and missions in mind, and this one's ours. We really want to serve our community. We want to create a volleyball ecosystem that allows kids to develop their skills at an early age, to be exposed to the sport, and have an opportunity also to compete at a high level. And so that's why we're building this club. So that's kind of all of our culture and what we're committed to. We're really committed to making sure that it's positive, which means no mean girl stuff is happening. Which means if it's happening, it's getting addressed right away. Within practice, within a tournament, parents are being notified. It's a whole discussion and a whole process that we go through. If we don't address those kinds of things, that's when things fester. That's when you have kids who have really damaging experiences within the sport because coaches don't address stuff or girls say mean things. And obviously we're talking about teenage girls, right? So they're gonna be mean to each other, it's gonna happen. And so what we try to do is just really foster an environment where not only do we address those things and we help folks apologize, but we also initiate repair. They're gonna be on a team together for 6 months. So we can't just let things fester, we can't let those kinds of things happen, and we demand that they respect each other. That's on and off the court. So that means no saying anything at school, because guess what? We have lots of kids who know us and love us and tell us everything. So we're gonna find out, and that's gonna be addressed. We really want it to be a positive place where we're all cheering each other on all of the time, because we went together. So a little bit about some of the facts that are out there, which is we have open gyms coming up on Sunday, and the following Sunday. So it's really the next, oh yeah, you guys can sit down and not stand here. So the next 4 Sundays, we have, the next 2 are our open gyms from 3 to 5. That's all age groups. It doesn't cost anything. You just have to show your SEBA tryout membership, which is $15. We have instructions for how to get that on our Instagram as well as on our website, ornamentvalleyelite.com. It's very casual. Really what we want to accomplish during the open gyms is we just want the kids and us exposed to each other. We want them to kind of see what our personalities are like. It's a fun environment. It's not tryouts. It's not like overly serious. Get some touches, dust off, you know, make sure you're feeling good about tryouts coming up. You want to add about that?
I can talk about tryouts.
Okay.
I'm not talking as much, I'm just getting over a cold, and if I start talking, I'll start coughing. So I'm letting you all do all the talking, but I'll talk here and there. Tryout format, we're combining our youngers and then our olders on separate weekends. So our 12U and 14U will be on the 9th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. We're moving to a little bit of a different format this season. We're doing a longer tryout. We've had input from some of our other coaches, and we're excited to test this out. So the first session for them will be from 10 to noon, and then at noon they'll have a 30-minute lunch break. We're out of school, there's a big cafeteria, so they'll go out there and have 30 minutes to kind of reset. If they maybe didn't feel like they were able to show us everything that they had in those first 2 hours, you know, get some food, have 30 minutes to chit chat, and then back in the gym for another hour and a half for our second eval period, where it's kind of everyone's second chance. And so we'll do evaluations throughout both sessions, and then we'll announce teams at the end of the tryout with offer letters. So we write their name and the team that we are offering them on the paper, and then everyone is released, and then parents come back in to do paperwork if you were offered a spot. So that's kind of what it looks like. And then our 16s and 18s will be the following weekend, same exact format. We'll be at Cheyenne Valley Middle School in Newburgh.
A little bit about what's happening at the tryout and the assessment, I think. Of course, we're assessing their volleyball skills. We want to put kids on teams with like skill sets. In addition, the attitude is one of the items that's being assessed as well. So we're kind of assessing what their passing's like, what their serving's like, what their attitude is like. Are they able to, you know, brush off mistakes? Are they blaming other people? Are they having dirty looks? Is that happening? Is an attitude going to be a problem? Because one person with a really bad attitude, it makes it really difficult for the whole team. So we're really trying to make sure that we're looking for the kinds of kids who want to be a part of this. And if at tryouts, that's a hard time, imagine what it's gonna be like for the next 6 months. So we really wanna make sure that you chat with your girls about that and make sure that they know that isn't, it's not just skill. Being the best player in the room isn't the only thing that we're looking at. And so we're looking at skill set, we're trying to put kids together that are of similar skill set, but we're also looking for, especially at the higher teams, we're looking for specific positions as well. For example, every team needs a setter. So we're going to be looking, and that's how the coaches kind of put all of that stuff together. I think sometimes that gets shrouded in maybe too much mystery, and then it may seem like there are more questions than answers around like who's placed on what team and that kind of thing. Obviously, there's a lot of reasons that go into that, and we're trying to do this, make the decisions that are best for the club, best for the players, allow for them to get the most playing time, and also have tons of opportunity to grow. We do really try to make sure that everybody's getting a good amount of playing time. Although playing time is not guaranteed. Just because you are in a club and you're paying the fee, that doesn't mean that you play. That's not really how club sports work at all. So we just want to be clear about that, although it is our goal to make sure that everybody is playing as much as possible. Last thing I was going to say about that, tryouts. The other thing is, we are staffed for 6 teams. We really want to not cut people. That's not really our intent. That's our desire is to not cut. Last year, we didn't have to cut any in the 16s group, and it was great. That being said, if we have a zillion people show up, we will not be in a position to not cut people because we only have 12 people staffed. So we do 2 coaches per team. I guess we didn't really mention that before. It's really our belief that it's great to have more than one voice in the room, especially when it comes to coaching. And it's also great for coaches because they have an opportunity to bounce ideas off of. And with scheduling and things like that, everybody is doing this as a side to their real jobs, and so having that kind of support is super helpful. Sorry, I covered it.
For tryouts.
Okay.
We have required paperwork for tryouts. You have to have a SEVA membership, and we'll go into detail a little bit about what SEVA is in a little bit. That's one of the next items on our agenda. But essentially, you go online and create an account, and you have like this little ID card that has your player's name on it. And you have to print that out and bring it, so that it's a lot of like insurance and stuff like that that runs through SEVA and through us. There's also a medical release form and a concussion waiver that are required by our region. These can be found on our website. I'm gonna add all those in there, as well as the SEVA website. So all 3 of those things need to be printed out and brought at check-in. And then we'll get your player checked in. We write like a number on their legs so that we know everyone. There's a lot of girls that we don't know that come, so we want to be able to easily see everyone. And we also take a Polaroid picture of them. That's how we do evaluations. All of our coaches get like certain Polaroids of the girls, so we know who we're looking at more than just a number, which is super helpful. So that's kind of how the check-in process works. Make sure that you have all those forms ready to go for tryouts.
And the doors are going to open 45 minutes before the tryout starts. So at 9:15, the doors will open. I would highly recommend you come at 9:15 because filling out the paperwork, getting checked in, making sure we check all 3 of your items off, adding it to your packet, putting the number on your player, and then getting them with their photo and then getting them in the gym. That can take a lot of time when we have 50 plus girls who show up. The other thing is that the tryout is closed. So parents are not permitted to be there while the tryout is happening. Number 1, there's no room. Number 2, our insurance only covers us and the players, and that's who's covered while we're at the tryout. We also want to give your players an opportunity to be trying out without worrying about that kind of external view coming from you guys. So SEVA, you want me to do that? Okay, so SEVA stands for Columbia Empire Volleyball Association. USA Volleyball is kind of the governing body over the entire country. SEVA is our local Oregon and Southwest Washington region, and so that's kind of where the membership comes from. They organize all of the power leagues. So there are 2 different kinds of tournaments throughout the season. Power leagues, which are region, kind of like your in-league tournaments, and they run all of those. And then we have friendships, which is kind of how they sound. They are for fun, but still a competition. And so another club, like say MPJ, runs a lot of tournaments of their own, and because they have their own facility. And so they will sponsor a tournament. We will go. There are officials that are from SEVA there and everything like that. But it's just a for fun. It doesn't count towards your ranking for regionals. So regionals is a tournament at the end of the year that's really fun, but not every team gets to go. It's as your ranking kind of goes, but you have to have a cutoff because similarly there isn't enough room to have every single team there. So that's kind of how that works. So SEVA is that governing body. When you log in, you're going to go to SEVA's website and go to memberships. Once you click on memberships, you're going to look for the junior player membership, and then that will take you to Sports Engine. Sports Engine is kind of like a necessary evil. It can be really confusing. Once you're in there and you've done it, it does tend to make more sense, but I wouldn't say it's the most intuitive process, and it can be pretty confusing. We answer our email all day, every day, so if you're having problems with that, please just call us or email us rather and let us know, and we can walk you through the steps to make sure your membership is correct. So what you're gonna do as a parent is first you're gonna just get a tryout membership, that's $15, and fill out our registration as well. Once you have that all the way completed, you come to tryout. If you're offered a spot, you're gonna go back to Sports Engine and you're gonna upgrade your membership to the full membership. That part is super, super, super important. Because if you don't do that, your kid is not eligible to play, and I can't print my roster with their name on it, and then they can't be at the first term. Yes.
Actually, when I went on there today to do that SEMA one, they did do the $15, but it was a little bit more than $15. It was like $15.44, plus they added $5 on for like the US SEMA or whatever, that they included in on that, so just so you know.
Oh, it's $20?
It was $20.44.
Okay,
Processing fees.
Yeah.
Processing fees. They're getting us every dime they can. Okay. So, also it's sevaregion.org. It's an awesome site, has tons of information on there. If you have questions, you're trying to do more research, highly recommend going on there. There's even like a tryout handbook that you can read, that kind of just explains some of the like smaller details around how the structure works. But as far as it goes, like WVE, the club, we kind of answer to SEVA, and all of the officials and refs who will wear like specific uniforms, and you'll see them, they'll have the SEVA logo on. They're kind of like the officials of the tournaments.
Quick question about SEVA.
Yeah.
I currently have a membership for myself and my daughter from Wilsonville. Does that roll over?
Oh, yeah.
Does it need to be?
Well, it has to be redone every year. I mean,
But
they
it's
really.
good because we just started.
Oh, yeah.
Like last month or whatever.
Oh,
so
yeah,
it's
no,
good until
yeah.
next
You
year.
just go in and get that membership, and it connects to your account. That is the nice thing I'll say. Once you're in there, things are usually pretty cool.
Okay.
It's
I
the
just
getting
didn't
in there
know.
the first time that I find to be
Yeah.
pretty difficult.
So I don't need to do the
No,
tryout.
SEMA membership is general, and then once you're offered a spot on a team, we connect you as like an invite to our club. So
Yeah.
once you go in and upgrade your membership to the full year after tryouts, then we essentially send you a club invite, you accept it, and then it links you to us for the season.
Beautiful.
So your membership is unlinked until you link it with a club after tryouts.
Okay.
Yep, exactly right. Okay. Financial info is next. I don't have that paper. Okay. Okay, so fees for this season, if you didn't already see, they're gonna be $1,800. That is for club dues. Payment is required after receiving a team assignment, so that's on the day of tryouts. And then as you can see on your paper, the payment in full is preferred due to the club startup costs. A payment arrangement option is definitely available. We do have a form, but we do require the $800 up front. The $800 up front allows for us to register for all the tournaments. Because we're a nonprofit, we're not like rolling a slush fund or anything like that. We have to wait for everybody to pay their dues in order for us to register, and then that allows us to order jerseys and gear. Check is preferred only for you guys, because then you don't have to pay any fees, but I absolutely can invoice you via Sports Engine. You just have to pay the 3% fee that they charge in order to do that. As far as fundraisers, we don't necessarily have a plan for us to facilitate a fundraiser, but families are of course welcome to run any kind of fundraiser they want to help offset the cost of their club dues. Last year our fees were $1,600, and this year they're $1,800. And that cost is really easily explained because of the cost of tournaments went up. And then really excitingly, we're gonna have Huddle this year. So I don't know if you know about that, but Huddle is a really incredible tool that videos all of your, we can video our games, and now it's paired with this volleyball specific thing called Ball Time and AI. So it's really kind of come full circle. The big huge thing for us is it's gonna stat every single game within like 30 minutes of the game being over, which is incredible, the amount of data that we're gonna have. For players, what's really awesome is it's going to allow for them to have really extractable video of their playing that they can turn into reels, that they can post on any kind of social media they want. And then within Huddle itself, each player has their own profile that then has direct access to all college coaches. They have their own profile page, they can put together reels and different videos that they can have like their highlights. You can even go into Huddle and say, show me my best 5 hits in the last 2 tournaments. They will put that together in one video, and it'll be a little highlight reel. Coaches can go to their profile and see all of their stuff. So,
Huddle is awesome.
It's awesome.
We used it
We're
when I
super
was
excited.
in high school, and it was nothing like it is now, just because of like AI and technology and all the things. It's been like 10 years since I've used it. But a lot of the colleges and universities in the area use it for all of their players and their stats. So you can have your own like account on your phone and go in, and everything will be on there like 45 minutes after the game is over.
Yeah.
And it helps us create really specific practices as to like what the weaknesses are in our teams after each tournament, which is super helpful. Gives us a lot of information and data to go off of.
And it's super specific, I mean, even down to when this player passes off of her left hip, she never can get it up. Okay, well, then that's so much easier for us to specifically train to that weakness. So we're super, super excited about doing that for, just allows for us to really like elevate the experience of not only us as coaches, but the players as well, and parents as well, to be able to see the games when they're not able to make it. I have 2 girls in the program and they are not the same age, so I'm kind of always having to kind of pick and choose which ones I'm able to go. I coach one of my oldest daughter, but then my youngest daughter, I can't always go to all of her games, so now I'll be able to see every single one when I want. So that's pretty exciting. And allows for us to not have to ask one of our coaches to try and stat. Last year we did try and attempt to stat, and that was horrible for me personally because when I did it, it was like I wasn't even there because I was just watching. I wasn't even able to coach really or be present, and so this like solves all of that and keeps the cost down, obviously. So that's super exciting. So in addition to huddle, you're getting uniforms. Everybody gets 2 jerseys. We're super excited about the jersey designs that we've come up with this year. You get game shorts, sweatshirts, sweatpants, warm-ups, practice shirts, backpacks. Knee pads, we're gonna do knee pads, you get socks, it pays for the facilities where we do have to pay for facilities, tournament entry, the huddle, the twice a week practices, and then, us. The quality coaching is what we're going for. We are a registered nonprofit, you can look that up if you wish. Yeah, tournaments.
Okay. At the very last page, we have a tentative tournament schedule. Just to kind of go over like what you're looking at here, the tournaments in black bold are like guaranteed. Those are the power leagues, those are ran by SIVA, and we really sure we get into those. The ones in like the lighter black print are ones that we're hoping for. Those are on the calendar, but we essentially can't register until we have everyone's payments come in. So we're hoping to get into those, but it's not like 100% guarantee. If there's for some reason one of those that we can't get into, we'll try to supplement it with a different one to try to stick with the same number. You'll notice on there, on everyone's schedule from March 28th to 29th is the Rogue Valley Classic in Medford. Last season, we took all 6 of our teams down there for like a weekend. It's a 2-day tournament. They have a brand new facility that has like 16 courts.
Yeah.
It's like a park and rec facility, but it's brand new.
Yeah.
And we took all of our teams and had a blast. It was so much fun. The girls loved it. We did like a club team bonding event one night where we did like clip decorating. If you've played club, I'm sure you're familiar with what that is. But we found that it was a super fun time, and we're excited to be able to take all of our teams down there again this year. So the only thing with that is that hotel and travel costs are not included in the club fees. So that is the only time for our teams that you would need to supplement like a hotel and obviously travel to get there for your player.
And it's at the end of spring break. So it's a pretty big point on the schedule to be clear about. You're obviously not necessarily required to attend tournaments if you can't make it or if you have something, but that is, because it's a 2-day tournament, that fee is higher than regular tournaments, so you wanna definitely consider that when you're making your decisions. Also, speaking of bonding, so we also like to have quite a few bonding events within our club. The first one is we do like a holiday, because we do it in January. A holiday party at Langer's. We bring all of the players there, and we bowl and we play games and we eat pizza together, and we do a little gift for them as well to start the season off. And we love doing that kind of thing. And then we also have all of the teams doing at least 2 other individual bonding events. And I want to make sure you guys know about this because many of our coaches are going to be looking to some of you guys to host those. And so one is just going to be kind of random whenever the coaches decide that the bonding event is like needed. And a lot of times that honestly just looks like, games and pizza at a house or something like that, or a craft or something like that. And then the last one would be end of season sort of awards night kind of thing. Everybody shows up. Again, we do try to do like a little something for everybody, and we do a specific award for their contribution to the team that year. So try to keep those fun events. We also do photos, which we didn't talk about. Last year was super excited. We got an awesome photographer. We're gonna rebook him again. That is, the photos is included in the club fee. And so you'll get access to digital photos, and then that way you can print them as you want. But we think they turned out pretty great last year, so.
Yeah, you'll get like a digital gallery of like your whole team, and they do
Yeah.
like fun, funny pictures and like media day
Yeah.
style pictures, and they
Yeah.
love it, so.
Okay, back to tournaments, sorry.
So all the ones in black are power leagues, so those are, like we mentioned before, the league tournaments that count towards your rankings in the region. So all the teams within SEVA are ranked by each age group, and then after those power leagues, your rankings will move around. You'll notice that there's no like locations. The power leagues change location based on like your rankings. So they'll group like the 12 closest girls together at like different schools and stuff in the area. Most of our tournaments are like on the I-5 corridor, anywhere between like Vancouver and Eugene. So most of them are like Salem, Beaverton, Hillsborough, places like that. Vancouver is like a farther one, and Eugene is like a farther one. But we find out locations for power leagues like the week or two before, so we won't know until the schedules are released, and then they'll let us know. And you guys will have a link to check that as well. It's like on our website. So that's kind of how that works.
And I'll send a big email with all of the links for you to save. Really encourage you to save them. Or save my email, so you know where to click every single time you're wondering where the tournament might be.
All the power leagues start at 8 a.m., so it's a little bit of an early start. So the girls generally need to be there by 7:30 to start the day, and then they can go into the afternoon anywhere between 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hopefully
Oh my god. Okay, so tournaments. If you've never played club before, it's a lot different than probably a lot of other sports in that every team not only plays in their pool of 4 teams, but they ref as well. And so all players are required to take turns reffing. It can get tricky because tournaments are big places and sometimes kids like to skip out. So really want to make sure that you guys hold them accountable, make sure that they are participating. We'll be doing like a training for teaching them how to do book. The coaches do the up reffing, so they never have to do that. But they may do down ref, they may do lines, and then the book as well, and the score.
And the scoreboard.
The other thing about tournaments that involves parents is something called the purple card. The purple card is a red card for spectators and bad behavior. So, one of the big rules within SEVA is that you as parents are not to communicate or talk to any of the reffing teams ever or ref ever. Also, the scoreboard is there as a courtesy. Someone is doing a scorebook and specifically keeping the real score. The scoreboard, again, a courtesy. So if it is wrong, no one from our club needs to be saying anything at all. No yelling at the person, no saying the score is wrong. It is up to the up ref to manage the score. You guys are there to cheer. That's the parent's job. The parent's job is there to encourage, to cheer, to hopefully not be coaching from the sidelines. That's what you're paying us to do. But there is a fine of $500 that increases and doubles every time a club gets a purple card. And just to clear the air, we will not be paying for that. You will be paying for that. But also, we've never had one. So please don't be that person. Okay? Okay, cool. Team communication.
Yeah. We have an app called Team Reach that we've been using for the past couple seasons. We find it works really great. We add all the players in there. For our youngers, our 12s and 14s, our parents are allowed to also be on there, mainly just to like make sure that they get the message. And then on our 16s and 18s, we just have the players on there. We send out parent communication via email, and so the communication via Team Reach is mostly for the coach to like let the players know, like bring this to practice, or here's the schedule for this weekend, and then we hope that they can pass that along to you as well. But we found the first season with parents on there, a lot of messages would appear, and then the main message would get lost from the player or from the coach to the players, and so we just want to keep that clear for our coaches to be able to communicate clearly with our players. So that's what we use.
It's a big group message and that kind of thing. It's also a spot where if you need to say, hey, I'm not going to make it to practice, players are responsible for communicating. One of the ways that we're teaching them life skills, especially for 16s and 18s, is for them to be accountable for themselves, to advocate for themselves. So if they're not going to be at a practice, they need to let us know. We don't want mom and dad necessarily being responsible for letting us know unless they're like sick and they can't communicate with us, obviously. Or they don't have a phone, something like that. That's all good. But we just want to kind of help facilitate the need for them to advocate for themselves, especially when it comes to like playing time. I should never receive an email at the club director level if your kid is having a question about their playing time. First, they need to go to their coach and talk about it, and then if they don't feel like it's addressed, then the coach can then talk to you about it, and then if it's still not addressed, then it comes to us. But we wanna make sure that we give our players and our students this opportunity, they're already doing it at regular school, to just really advocate for themselves and find out what they should be asking questions, and what you guys can help them do is say, hey coach, like I notice I'm not in as much as I would like to be, what can I work on? What can I do in order to earn more playing time? And that is a very normal, great conversation to have directly with their coach. So that's kind of what we're trying to encourage. Okay, yep, we did that. Last thing. Practices, okay. Practice space in Newburgh is tight and very difficult to come by. So generally speaking, we are mostly having practices on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Our 12s and 14s from 5 to 7, 16 and 18s from 7 to 9. We do have some gym space on Wednesday nights this year though, so we are gonna be utilizing that. We really wanna try and stay away from Mondays and Fridays because of course we have tournaments. And we don't wanna have to if we have a tournament on a Sunday and then practice on a Monday, that can be pretty rough, especially for the younger kids. Tournaments are long days and you can be really tired from practice the next day. And a lot of times when we've coached together before and that's been the schedule, you end up kind of canceling practice because everybody's so booked that they can't really put in a full effort. So we really try to keep it to that Tuesday, Wednesday timeframe.
What happens in Newburgh is youth basketball takes over the world.
Yeah.
And so there's so many little kids teams that we can't get a lot of gym space. And so the first month or two, they might have Tuesday, Wednesday practice, they might have Wednesday, Thursday practice, and we hope that by the end of January, a lot of gym space opens up for us, we're able to spread them out a lot more. So those first couple of weeks might be a little bit hectic as we finalize everything, and then as soon as basketball season's over, we're opened up to a lot more space and other places for them to spread out. And have more regular practice times. But if you have a wonky schedule, a 5 to 7 on a Tuesday and a 6 to 8 on a Wednesday, we're doing our best.
Yeah.
But we have limited options as to what the schools will give us, and there's not as many private gyms here as we would like there to be. So we practice at one, but that's the only one that we're able to use. So we do the best that we can on their space.
That being said, our schedule follows the Newburgh School District school schedule. So, for example, the week of Thanksgiving, we will not have practice because we do not have access to school gyms. The 2 and a half weeks really, of Christmas break, we will not have gym space. We will have our private gym available to us though, because luckily we have Power League, our very first Power League tournament during Christmas break. So, please put your eyes on that. It's January 3rd or something, and in Newburgh, they're not going back until the 6th or something like that, because of furlough days and that kind of thing. So, spring break, they will have practice before our Medford tournament, but we will have the tournament. So just kind of keep that in mind when it comes to the practice schedule if we end up not being able to practice. Now, during longer break, especially over Christmas break, if we have a coach who volunteers to run an open gym, we will make sure and let everybody know, but we're not asking that of them, so that's kind of up to them if they want to run an open gym, and then we'll let folks kind of go to the private gym that we have access to during break.
Yeah, Jada runs a lot of those for us.
She does that, not me.
loves-
I like my brain.
Yeah, sometimes we'll do a 14s open gym or a 16s open gym to try to get some of the girls in the gym over break, but we only have one gym, there's only one court, so we'll do a few of those for the coaches that are around.
Yeah.
But mainly breaks, it's just time to relax and be
With
out
your
of
families.
sorts for a
Yeah,
little bit.
exactly. Okay, the monologue is complete. This is all the things we wanted to say to you guys out loud. What questions do you have? What can we answer?
Do you know how many 16s teams there will be?
So our hopeful structure, this is what we're going for.
Yeah.
We're gonna have an 18s team, one 18s team, we're gonna have the goal, 2 16s teams, 2 14s teams, and 1 12U team. That's kind of what we're looking at. Last year we had 3 14s and 3 16s, because we didn't have quite enough on either end to make those higher and lower age groups, but we've had enough movement in girls that are older and younger, that's kind of our hopeful structure.
But it also just depends on who registers. So, register tonight. Please, so we know who's coming. Yes, ma'am.
What age group would she be in? She's 14, but she'll be 15 in the middle of this.
Okay, great question. If you turn higher than the age group during the season, you have to be in the higher ed group. So she would have to be in 16.
So
she has to come on the 16th, not the 9th.
So if you're gonna play 14s, you have to be 14 during the whole season. You can't turn 15 before the end of the season. And that's the same with all the age groups, 16, you can't turn 17 during the season. And that goes till the end of April. So if your birthday's like the end of May or in the summer, then that would be okay, but. that's kind of-
And then that being said, you can also play up though, always. So if you are, even if you're like 13, turning 14 during the season, you can play on a 16 team. You can always go up. It's just if going down, you have to get an age waiver. Oh, normally people play with their grade. So that's kind of also where it gets tricky. So for example, 14s is generally like 7th, 8th graders. 16s is usually freshman, sophomore. 18s, junior, senior kind of thing. And so if you have somebody, like I know specifically we have a gal, you know, who could still play on a 14s team. She won't even turn 15 until summer, but she's a freshman in high school and all her friends are probably gonna play 16s. You're welcome to come to 16s. That makes sense. You just, also you cannot try out before your age group tries out. That we are doing tryouts with the literal first day SEVA allows us to. So if you're a 14, or excuse me, if you're 16, you cannot try out on the 9th at all. That's not allowed, it's not available. You cannot come until the 16th. Sorry. Yes, ma'am.
2 questions. How many kids are you taking per team?
So we like to have 12, but we've been known to have 14, 15, especially for the younger kids. They get tired more. So,
We try to do 12 so they can scrimmage each other during practices. That's
Exactly.
the goal, so that we can like facilitate like a real life game when everyone shows up. So that's kind of where we get 12 from. And then if we have like 2 extras, instead of cutting them, we would like throw them on a team. Like
Yeah.
we don't want to do that. We're trying to keep as many as we can without making it too hectic.
yeah.
The second question I have is, so it sounds like they're gonna be invited, they're gonna get a letter, they're gonna walk up to their parents' car, and you're gonna open the letter. How long do you have, I mean, can you like take 24 hours to look at that, or you gotta come
No.
right back in and sign up?
Well,
I'm
I mean,
just
it's-
trying to gauge what the
Sure.
expectation is there.
What I would say is that our preference is that you come back in because we have a parent meeting immediately and we're collecting fees and getting all of your sizes and doing all of that to get all of your stuff ordered literally that night. Because jerseys take a long time to arrive and we have one set of backup jerseys we've made ourselves because this has already happened to us before. Yeah, if you're really on the fence, like we can probably give it like a day, depending honestly on whether we've cut somebody or not. Right, so like we don't want there not to be a spot for somebody, but yeah, there might be a little bit of room, but I would say the very strong preference is if you get a letter also and it says no offer at this time, that means that you're cut, just to be clear. And then if it says WVE 16U, that means you've been given an offer and we're anticipating all of the parents to come back in the doors within 15 minutes so that we can get going. So, yes.
For girls who played last year for WVE and already have backpacks and stuff like that, I know last year you guys did something
We did.
where they got something different instead.
So this year, we're still deciding what we're gonna do about that because we had this like really fun plan. We're gonna get them leggings, and the leggings were out of stock, and it became like a real thing to manage. So likely what we will do is we're gonna try and work with our gear person to see if we can just get you like a credit on the store, so
use
that
for, like,
y'all can
parent
just buy
sweatshirts or
whatever.
whatever.
Like maybe the parent can get a sweatshirt or something like that. The backpacks, we're kind of assuming that they're gonna at least last 3 to 4 years. I mean, they're pretty nice backpacks. So giving you a credit is a lot easier for us.
Yeah, I think that's.
Facilitating, like putting the leggings together and all that, like turned into kind of a nightmare. So we're like, let's not do that this year.
That's something to mention that you brought up.
Yeah.
All of our gear, like they also build us like a fan gear website.
Yeah.
So we'll have a link to that like during the first couple weeks of the season, and we have like all different kinds of stuff on our hoodies and t-shirts and stuff that parents can order. And it's
More
super
than
fun
what
to
the girls
see.
get.
It's fun
There's
to
more
see parents
options.
have tournaments in their
Yeah.
gear to
Yeah.
support their team.
Yeah, yes.
One more gear question.
Yeah.
Paisley wanted me to ask you if there's going to be different sweatband options this year.
Okay, so
Okay, yes.
that's
We have received a lot of feedback regarding the sweatpants and we know they want wide legs, so we are doing that.
Yeah, we're gonna get like the wide leg, like the
She'll be so happy.
Yes.
and then like a matching hoodie.
Don't worry, my 2 teenagers hover during our work meetings.
I liked the sweatpants because they were long enough on me, but
Not me,
I know
I like
smaller
rolled
girls
around
didn't
and was like,
appreciate it.
still can't rip.
So, question about practices.
Yeah.
12s and 14s, you mentioned there's only one gym.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Sorry, there are.
I was like, do they all practice together?
No,
What's happening?
well, okay, so we have a few gyms where there are 2 or 3 courts. So a lot of times we do have teams practice together. So last year we did that as a necessity, but actually ended up loving it. Because then on Thursdays before a tournament, those two teams can scrimmage each other. That ended up being actually super helpful. We have the private gym we have just has one court, but that's not, most of the time, a team will only practice there one of their days, and then on another day, like Maple Rush is a place that we practice a lot, and it has 2 courts there, and so we try to put like skilled teams next to each other, so then that way they can scrimmage or do drills together, and it's great for the coaches too to bounce ideas off of each other, and sometimes combine if we want to, that kind of thing.
But they each have their own court,
Okay.
For
like
sure.
in the gym,
For
and
sure.
then we might like do some combined drills or scrimmage or
I
stuff,
was
but.
imagining like half-court practice.
Yeah. Only if
Just
we're
saying.
really desperate on
Yeah,
it.
if we're like really
I'm like,
pinned,
it's happening,
but-
so that's why.
Well, that is not our preference. We are really trying to work with the school district to facilitate more space for us. Any other questions? Oh, yeah.
What if my daughter plays multiple sports?
Great question. Yeah, lots of people have this question. Some clubs kind of take like a real hard line on this, and we don't. We think having a multi-sport athlete is a huge asset to us and to you guys. If you can make it work, that is up to you guys. What you want to facilitate, what you feel comfortable with schedule-wise. Club can be a lot, especially if you've never done it. If you've done it before, you know what you're getting into, go for it. Have at it, do what you want. If your other practice is Tuesday or Monday, Wednesday, but you know, everybody has other stuff, not just sports. Like my kids are in choir, so then they'll miss because of a choir concert or something like that. So we really want them to be well-rounded kids who pursue all of their interests. So obviously let us know if they're in another sport, and please communicate really clearly with your coach when you're not gonna be somewhere or how it might impact your club schedule. That's it, we love it. Do everything. You only get to do this once in your life, so do it all. Yes, ma'am.
Are you thinking about doing the rebuilt, open gym this year?
Okay, so I would love to do it because so last year, we did a strength class on Wednesday nights. And it was very popular for about the first half of the season, I would say. And it's really fun. I have initially decided I'm not gonna do it, simply because it's just too much and I kind of burned out, to be honest. But I really love doing it. So I'm gonna keep thinking about it, basically. Because I have had quite a few, I love that. I was like, so basically it's fun because I take them to Rebuilt, which is like, kind of like a CrossFit gym, and I've been going there for 12 years. I'm very close with the owners, and they let all of the WVE kids come just for me to coach them for completely free. It's not in addition to any kind of fees. And we teach them about strength training. We do volleyball specific box jumps with their approaches and different things like that. And I thought it was very effective, and I thought a lot of girls really improved by having that class. It's just a matter of like coaching, directing the club, volunteer job, real job, and that. There's just a
And
lot.
then also depending if we have to move some of our practices to Wednesday, which actually we will be having to move some of our practices to Wednesday, we might not have an open day to do it, but we'll see. We're still
Yeah, it
kinda
would
working
kind of
on that.
limit who could come, because if your team has a practice on a Wednesday night, you can never come to it. So, still leaning probably towards no, but not saying not for sure. Because I don't know, maybe we'll do like once a month or drop-ins or something like that, just because it was really fun and I thought the girls had a great time.
Or like on school breaks or something?
Oh, yeah, I would be way more open to that. Yes, ma'am.
One other question, and I don't know how to word this properly.
It's okay.
Tired.
It's okay,
You try not to cut people,
that's the goal.
but if someone signs up and they've never played volleyball before,
Uh-huh,
and it might not be the good fit for the team, is that person go?
possibly.
Okay.
It really depends on how many girls show up. With our younger girls, a lot of our girls are beginners. A lot of our middle schoolers, a lot of our like 12U, they're beginners.
Yeah.
And so like we're not looking for like much
Okay.
in
Yeah,
terms of skill. It's really
No.
like how many spots do we have, and like you can't all only play back row. You know, like we have to have a well-rounded team. But a lot of our younger teams have a lower skill level.
Yeah.
And we have a lot of coaches that are really into the developmental stages and
Really excited for
really
that part
excited
of
to
it.
work on that. So we
Gwen,
have coaches of all skill levels.
yeah, Gwen here in the back is gonna be our 12U coach. And she has been coaching with us for Rec League this year and has coached club before. So she's super excited to help develop those 12U gals. And then last year, one of our 14s team, one girl on that team had played volleyball before, club before, and everybody else had done rec with us for 7 weeks, and that was all. So they were all, nobody had any idea what they were doing, so they did great, and I thought they had fun, right? Yeah. I mean, they're back today, so they had fun, I think. But yeah, I mean, it's all really about fit. You know, I think we're like skill set wise for the club in general, we're like middle of the pack, I would say. And then some of our newer ones are obviously not middle of the pack. And it takes a while to build up that skill set, so that's part of our investment into the rec league is to have somebody running 3rd through 5th, and then we get them 6th through 8th, and try to develop their skills so that by the time they're ready to come and play for us in club, they've had plenty of exposure to volleyball, and they kind of get better faster, and especially learning how to develop like skills like diving when they are still this tall and feel comfortable going to the ground instead of our tall, and they're like, that's far. So that's kind of like the idea behind it. Yeah. Yes.
The other 16 coach, do you know who that will be?
Not necessarily, no. I'm gonna be the 18s coach. That's because my daughter's gonna be on the 18s.
I'm gonna be one of the 16s
Yeah,
coaches.
her and Jaden.
And Jaden as well. We have like, a lot of our coaches don't have an assignment because like, we're hoping for, like what I said, 2 14s, 2 16s, and 1 on either end. But we don't wanna assign them to that because we're kind of waiting for registrations. Right now we have like 30 girls registered. So the more people we have registered, the more we can like start assigning coaches to spots. But we don't really have all the knowledge of exactly where we're gonna put everyone yet.
Yeah, yeah. We know 1 16s team, 18s, 1 for 12s, and then everybody else, we're kind of still figuring that out, because some of these gals are brand new hires to us as well. So we wanna so during the open gym, we're gonna be getting to know them. You guys are gonna be getting to know us. We're gonna be able to start seeing who's gonna be a good fit together as well. So that's part of the development process. What else can we answer? Okay. More
Our
information is on
email
the
is at the
website.
bottom of the page. I would say generally speaking, we respond to emails within like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
We both have it on our phones and we're just constantly responding to things. We're very quick. So if you have a question, like don't hesitate to just send us an email. We're the ones that are gonna answer you. And we are always happy to answer any questions. Register for tryouts. It's on our website. We have an early bird discount. If you register before November 1st, it's $10 cheaper to try out, $30. After November 1st, it goes up to $40. So that just helps us with planning. That's why we did that this year. So register early so we know who all's coming, and then we can do some more planning before everyone shows up. All right, thank you so much for